say I'm a Mopar fan is the understatement of the century. I have grown up loving Dodge, loving Chrysler, loving everything that has to do with Mopar. It's in my blood since birth. To see what is happening with the new crap they're trying to feed us, they are throwing us back into the 1980 fuel crunch. Seeing the direction that they're pushing us is way bigger than most people are looking at. It's not just the vehicles. It's the passion of being part of a car community, part of a culture. Anybody who has been part of it understands exactly what my words mean. This video, this live session, is not to bash Tim Kuniskis. This is to point out that Dodge is heading in the wrong direction at a very, very rapid pace. Are you guys ready for this? You ready for this one? I got a small I got 21 talking points so far and a couple of charts, and I may have caught Tim in a funny situation.
Cockpit.
Whoa, Tim. That's kind of how it went, and I think that's what he said when they said, "Hey, Tim, we need you to go out in front of all these people and unveil these things." And he's sitting in the room going,
cockpit.
I guarantee that's what he was saying.
You're done.
You're done, bud. You're done. Oh, looks like we got Mongrel's Garage down here. Let me bring him up, and then we'll go ahead and welcome everyone in. The StreamYard link is pinned in the comments. Hey, buddy.
How's it going, man?
Oh, just firing chicken and bacon in my mouth at the last minute to try and make this thing. We got 30 people. Hey, if you guys could help me out, hit the thumbs up, and I will give you this. Cheers. Appreciate you. If you don't, you get this.
Nice.
Really
man, I don't want to
you.
miss this discussion. I had to be here for this one.
Well, we had a young gentleman come in, Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000. I really appreciate you coming in and commenting. This is not going to be the night for you to join the panel, my brother. I went and looked at your channel, and you're a younger gentleman, and I love Looney Tunes too, brother. But this is just not going to be the night for you to come in. Okay, bud? And if you're not at least 18, I probably wouldn't watch this. Not that there's going to be a lot of swearing, but it's going to get pretty deep and maybe heated. So, Buff, what's up, buddy? How you doing? How you doing, man? Rich, what's up, dude? How you doing? Whistles to self. Looks at watch. Oh, what do we got? Cletus, how are you doing, brother?
Hey, cousin.
Got a whole panel again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're just going to fire this one up. And you're the perfect person to have on here because I want to hear your take. Because it may vary from mine, but I also have talking points that I want to make sure everybody understands. As you could tell, I'm a little fired up for tonight's conversation, which is unlike me. I'm normally, and I still am. I mean, I still did make a couple of things, and I'm sorry you're going to hear this a lot.
Cockpit.
We're not even allowed to use that term in aviation anymore. I don't know how you.
You're done.
That's
So
what they do.
before you get started, I know you're about to dive into it hard. If you can remember, we did the news show. In fact, you were on it, and you even covered some of it. They were talking about this back in, what was that, January, February?
Yeah.
But I guess they're actually rolling it out now. So,
Yeah. Whether people like it or not. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I see something that popped up at the top here. Let me address this real quick. Because even though this is the live, that isn't, bring on the Dodge love. Well, as I said in the beginning, it has been my entire life. Truly. Hold on. This is for you, bud. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Buff. You did not have to do that. And you can join the live if you have stuff that you want to bring in to help benefit the conversation.
Wait till you get to Sublime's comment there.
Oh, there are so many. Everybody is here. Hold on a minute. Hold on. The chat is literally exploded. Let me say hi. First Responders Garage. How you doing, brother? Hope you get better internet because we would love to have you on some lives and get your
that'd
take
be
on
great,
everything. Colleen, how are you doing? Appreciate you. I believe you're Mopars and minivans or something like that as well. Appreciate you coming in. Shopcat, what is up, brother? What's being shaved off tonight? Well, I don't have a Dodge tattoo, or I'd probably scrape it off my arm. Let's see.
Mongrel's hair?
Evans Mopars, how are you, man? Yeah, oh, dude, I was slamming. Ask Mongrel. He came down right before I started the show. I was shoving bacon in my damn face to get to this. Let's see. He didn't sound convincing. He's pretty convincing. Here. He's pretty convincing. I think he's got the right inflection? I think it's inflection. Let's see here. I saw a bunch of more people. Wow. As soon as I touch it, like the chat goes, woof. I'm trying to catch up with all of you guys because I really, really appreciate the support. Bear Rose, what's up? Wendy, how are you doing? Let's see. Mopar Nut. Yes, brother. Oh, yeah. I'm ready. Shopcat, we said hi. Peckerwood, how are you doing? Appreciate you. Auto Salvage Outlaws, how you doing? Street Fox 347, what is up, brother? What is up? Always a supporter. Brett Jarvis. Thanks for coming, buddy. Tony's Hot Rod Garage, fellow Arizonian. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you coming in. Hog Shooter Hot Rods. Ari, how you doing, brother? How you doing? Appreciate you coming in. Mr. Layton, always. Oh, man. He is hilarious. If you don't know, you need to watch that meme show. He is funny. Mostly old parts and rust. How are you doing? How are you doing? Sublime. I'm trying to fill out estimate forms and almost wrote the word cock. Good. That is part of what we're doing here because there may be a lot of that type of stuff. Gasoline forever. Well, let's see. Yes, thank you, Hot Rod Dave. Thank you, Smacky's Garage. Mr. Zoe, how are you doing? Appreciate you, brother. Mike SR 340. Oh, yeah, yep. I'm from Illinois originally myself, brother. Feel you there. It's good and bad. Who else we got? We got Tom something here. It's jumping too fast. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Tom Cook, how are you, brother? Appreciate you, man. And okay, I think I caught up with everybody. If I missed you, please let me know. Sorry about that. I appreciate everybody coming in. So I kind of wanted to go over, as you saw, I had made fun of Speed Week. And the reason why I made fun of Speed Week, let's talk about day one. Did you guys get to see Speed Week? Did either of you see the unveil? There was 3 different days.
I didn't see it live, but I did see it later.
Okay.
I kind of lost interest after day one, to be honest.
So I want to quickly go over day one. So day one, and I 100% agree on this. Yes, they stepped on their dicks. So they make, as you know, they are marketing masters. The only people better than them at marketing, which I guess not nowadays, but back in the day, was Bose. Bose used to market the hell out of a crappy product. Just saying. They were really good at it. So Dodge must have taken a page out of that. And day one, they walk in, and here's my hypothesis on what happened. So Stellantis walks in the door and goes, all right, you're having too much fun. Shut it down. The reason I say that is they were selling the drag packs, right? The beautiful drag pack that first thing they unveiled. Hey, you can get a rolling chassis drag pack. And you can go to Direct Connection and put whatever stuff, the goodies you want, just buy them and shove them on in there. Okay. So my hypothesis kind of stands there. Okay, how many do we have left on the line? All right, stop. Just make them rolling chassis. Shove them. We're done with them. Don't make any more. I don't want to see any more of them. Well, what do we do with the bodies? Hold on, that's coming. So they rolled these things out as chassis. It is $90,000 for a car with no motor and transmission. Now, when they originally came out, they were $90,000 with a 1,400 horsepower motor inside. So the people who own those, who bought those, like Dennis,
Collins.
Dennis, no, is it Dennis? No, it's Dennis. Drag Pack Dennis. Look up Drag Pack Dennis on YouTube. I actually did a video with him. He got number 3 of 50 of the 2021 Drag Pack Challengers, and he actually came to a race, and I got to see it run. I was freaking out, little kid in a candy store, like, wow, a brand new drag pack. So they're taking these bodies and going, here, we're trying to get them out. And that's the rolling chassis for the drag car people. They're trying to make it sound like it's a good thing. And then they go to the next one, pull it off. Yeah, it's just a shell of a car. No motor, no trans, no suspension, no wiring, no nothing. It's the body in white. And we're going to sell this thing at a discount because I tried to buy one when they first were available. They were $20,000. They're selling them for basically $8,000. Hold on. Let me check a couple of these. Monday Morning Racer, what's up? Appreciate you. You really have to wonder what their marketing dollars. Oh, dude. Yeah. Yeah. EV marketing on. No. Yeah. So they took all these bodies that they have left because they're discontinuing the Challenger. And they must have crunched some numbers and said, okay, I don't think we're going to sell the amount of Challenger bodies that we have left that we've already created. So we're going to blow these things out the damn door. Now, interesting conversation with Wide Body Nation. Wide Body Nation and I are partnered with Destroyer1320.com. He is really helping me push that brand and push that website and push protecting Mopars to the next level. So huge kudos to him. But he did a live and really touched on a few things. One of them was, hey, that convertible's awesome. You just made it 400 times easier for people to steal a Mopar because they don't have to break a window.
Yeah.
They literally lean over, pull the coin slot out, pull up on the neutral release, and push that car on a trailer. It's gone so fast your head would spin. And what would they do with that car? They'll take that car, they'll rip the engine, the motor, the transmission, whatever goodies they want out of that thing. They're going to spend $7,500 on that body in white and rebuild the car, and it's theirs.
And as you said before, no locking steering wheel. So,
yeah, anybody who has a key fob Dodge, your steering wheel don't lock. So they can just pull it neutral and push me all over the place. Let's go for a ride. So that kind of started to drive me nuts. And it was a great point by Wide Body to say, hey, all you do is buy this thing $7,500 for a body. You got some shady friends in the biz and they hook you up with an engine and transmission. Here you go get a car. Well, suspension, wiring, all that stuff. But still, it could be done. And you would have, especially as rare as they're going to be because they're stopping making them, you will have a gem on your hands. You will make hand over fist cash with that vehicle. So let's move over to the next one they revealed, which was the convertible. At first, I was like, been waiting for this forever. Dodge, great job. Until he goes, we're not making it. It's the same company in Florida that's always made them. We're just going to send it to them and have them make it. So why is Dodge even saying anything? Right. They don't have anything to do with them.
They shouldn't even brought it up.
I buy one. Exactly. So what's the difference? I should just go straight. I'm not going to do it. But if I was to purchase one and wanted one, and yes, the convertible, check this out. That convertible is extremely sexy. Amazing looking car. Yep. Looks badass. I live in Arizona. Say I wanted my 1320 that I used to have. I wanted a convertible. I send it over to Florida. They do their thing, chop top, blah, blah, blah. They put it all together, ship it back to me. Oh, man, check this out. And the second time I hit that top, it shit binds and doesn't work or rips. Where's my warranty? It's not with Dodge. I got to ship that bitch back to Florida to have it fixed. Interesting. So they have no customer support for people who buy a convertible Challenger. And then we move on to the next one. Oh, let's check it out. We made a Durango. Or actually, no. Sorry. The next one was, huge reveal on this 70 carbon fiber Roadrunner. This thing is bad. Charger. This thing is bad. We're going to make a Roadrunner and we're going to make a CUDA. This thing's awesome. And I'm going to tell you nothing else about it. But it's a roller. It's over $200,000 for that car. You could purchase it prior to them unveiling it as a product. For some reason, Dodge is just pushing Speed Core. It's a Speed Core car. They've already made a car out of it. So why are you bothering Dodge? Why don't you just say, look what SpeedCore did? It has nothing to do with Dodge besides the licensing for the vehicle, the type of vehicle. That is all it has. There's nothing to do with Dodge. So they embarrassed the shit out of themselves on that stage back to back. They're promoting two different companies that they will not be able to warranty. They'll not be able to do a damn thing. So that kind of made me sick. And then you're going to roll it out in a carbon fiber. But what happens to people like me who just give me steel? Just put metal on it. Put some sheet metal on there and send it to me. Just sell it that way. No, won't do that. But if you spend $200,000, okay, 1%. What the hell? Average people cannot afford that, cannot touch that. It's going to be in Barrett Jackson. It's going to go for $5 million and blah, blah, blah. We'll watch them bounce around. You'll never see one out on the drag strip or on the road. Then they move over to the Durango. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to try and catch up to this chat, but I'm going, okay? I told you the lid's going to pop. It's popping. So then there's people who bought the Hellcat Durango. I feel so bad for those people. It is ridiculous because they bought one and Tim Kaniskis stood on that stage. He stood on that very damn stage and said,
cockpit.
No, he did not say that. He said, this is the only year we're going to make the Hellcat Durango. Buy them now. This is all we're making. And now this year, you're making more? You wait to see the lawsuits coming to Dodge for that. Because I know a couple people that are YouTubers that bought them that paid asinine amount of money for those things. And now I can go buy another one? Interesting. Very interesting. So that brings me over to day two. Day two is when they brought us the Hornet.
Yeah, bravo. Exactly.
So before I get back on my pulpit, I need to have something to drink here. So let's start out with Mongrel. What is your impression of the Dodge Hornet? Sorry, that's an AMC, but the Dodge Hornet.
Well, the Fiat in disguise, or not a very good disguise is at that. Like, we're just talking, they took a car, threw a different bumper on it, called it a Dodge. And that thing is just doesn't represent Dodge at all. There is not anything that I would call Dodge about that particular vehicle. And
what do you think? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Let's pass it down to Cletus here.
If I'm correct, we're talking about the thing that looks like a RAV4, right? A Toyota RAV4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of like what Ford did with the Mustang. You know, they could have used a different name. They didn't need that.
No, to me they embarrassed themselves like Dodge just did.
Yeah. But I mean, it does have the Knight Rider throwback with the little turbo boost button. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Well, and they're calling it Gateway, so they're wanting to target young kids with this. The problem that I have with that is, if the kid just went and bought an Alfa Romeo, he could save himself some money. It's the same damn car.
Yeah.
I could pull up the interior pictures right now. They literally took the middle of the horn button out and put a Dodge 2/ on it. That's it. Seats are the same. Headrest has a Dodge emblem, but the seats are the same. The interior's the same. Everything's this. The power numbers are the same.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Well, it's not a terrible looking vehicle.
No, it is.
But if they called it something else, there wouldn't be an issue. For them to call it that and then start trying to hype it up, that's the issue.
Well, we're right back to the Dodge Dart and the Fiat 500 here.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same dang thing. And they didn't learn from that, apparently. So let's try it again. And, I mean, you have a certain brand name. And I think it was Shopcat that was talking about the sales number for some of those other cars. But what I feel a lot of these corporations have lost sight of is when you're talking Challenger, Mustang, Camaro, Corvette, stuff like that, those are your flagship cars. They're not meant to be the big sales numbers.
Right.
They are meant to be the PR relations to get the customer in the door.
And then
And
they'll get
Pace.
something more
and then
that they
get them
need.
into
They'll get an
something
SUV or
representative of the brand. This is all marketing. It is PR, and it's something Dodge used to excel at. Because I know I can't afford a Hellcat, but I can afford a Charger. And I'm lucky enough to have an RT all-wheel drive, and I love the car. It's a great car. But do I still want that Hellcat? Heck yeah. But I got a little piece of it. I'm happy with that. And this is something that Ford was an absolute master of in the 60s with the Mustang. They were the king of this. That is hands down not arguable, because they knew that I can put the GT out there, I can put the Shelbys out there, I can put that in there, and I might be selling a 6-cylinder to a secretary, but at least they got a little piece of that car and they're happy.
Mhm.
And those are the sale numbers. Like, I mean, you look at what the Mustang did back in the 60s, and it's all because of that hot little car. And you could get it in any option that you wanted, and you could get it in any price you want it, and they put the butts in the cars. It's as simple as that. Now, if you're after, now granted, I understand that they did not have a vehicle in that market, and they wanted a vehicle in that market, but you don't take an icon, turn it into a piece of junk, and put it in that market.
Well, and you don't unveil it in Speed Week.
No,
Just
absolutely.
unveil it somewhere else. Like, bring it to McCormick's show and, hey, here's our new car. You don't Speed Week and that car have nothing to do with each other. And Big Red Channel 20, Chillin' 20, dude, this is part of what really set me off to make this thing. Hornet is supposed to be in dealers by December. No tech training has been done on that platform for us at all. You're bringing in an Italian vehicle. There is no Dodge anything. And I've did my research. There's not even a Dodge badge on the Hornet. There's those two little lines. That's it. They couldn't find a space that lined up with the Alfa Romeo symbol.
This brings up another great point of having techs train, and I'm going to throw us back to the Trans Am of the 1980s when they introduced the Turbo Trans Am, and they did not train any of the techs on how to repair that car and tune that car, so they got a very quick reputation of being junk, that 302 Turbo Trans Am. Now, if they were tuned right and they worked well, I mean, they were putting down some serious power, some serious torque, but no one knew how to fix them. And everyone just called them junk and scrapped them after that. And you got to be prepared for this stuff. Now, I'm sure that they have some training going on, but look at the state of most dealer trained technicians nowadays. I wouldn't train them to fix my toilet, or I wouldn't trust them to fix my toilet, most of these guys, especially if they can't plug a scanner into it, you know?
Well, and that brings up a good point. Parlaying into day 3. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up with some of the comments, but I got to kind of keep this rolling too, because I honestly
a little
could go
crazy there
for 10 hours.
Sorry, Thumper, correct me. 301, not 302. My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah, so day 3, I was very excited to watch that one. Like, okay, what is this going to be? How are you doing it? How are you going to keep the name? Because it's one of those, okay, you pooped in my Cheerios with the Hornet. You don't put that on Speed Week. You don't call it a Dodge, and you don't say, oh, it sounds like a Dodge, looks like that. That's Italian, dude. I can go and buy if you ever get in an accident, just go buy the Alfa Romeo parts. They're cheaper, probably.
Yeah.
Shove them on the front, you're done. I mean, I don't know. That was a cop out. That was the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but the YouTubers who fought for it, I have lost massive respect for. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to address something by Hot Rod Dave there. I wasn't talking the 86 Turbo TA with Grand National. I'm talking the 1980 with the 301 in it.
Yeah.
That 86 TA, 87 TA with the Grand National, well, worked over. That was an awesome car. But
Sure.
Oh yeah,
bringing it back to Dodge, yeah, you're right. I was excited to see what was going to come out of day 3, even though I was very disappointed by day 2. Now, I think the body looks pretty good on that new Charger.
I think it does too. I
So
think the lines
It's a
are
decent
great.
looking car. It's got some nice lines on it.
It's got a body on it.
Well, and that's where I was starting to head, but I just realized I made something for this gentleman. I made something. So he said at the beginning of day 3, since we're stepping into day 3 of Ped Week, hey, we already got 14,000 orders. Okay, so when he said that, I screenshotted this. Oh, let's build one. Let's build and price it. Oops. Well, that's not there. Let me look. Got to be some other place I can do it. He sold 14,000. Let's see. He called it a muscle car, so I had to go under muscle. Maybe it's in the Dodge garage somewhere. No. No, they had the convertible there.
Well, the convertible's there, yeah.
So they're promoting that already. Current offerings. Okay. You sold 14,000.
So it's like 14,000 pre-orders, maybe?
They're not even allowing pre-orders. Now, there's a guy, OC Motivator. Huge shout out, OC Motivator. Awesome dude. I told him on his channel, I am 100% in lockstep with your brother. He actually called dealers in California trying to pre-order one. And he was finally able to get someone who would take his information down, and that's it. There's no guarantee of nothing. There's no, here's a deposit, let me pre-order this thing. And he called 4 places that had no clue what he was even talking about.
Let's address this number as well. We got a whole 14,000. Is that what we're talking about? 14,000 orders here?
Yeah. Well, the number was so high because it's 14,000 and didn't he say like 6 hours or something, or it was something like that?
Okay, now if you're going to put a time frame like that behind it, then fine. But I mean, if you're talking, hey, we got a whole 14,000, like, yeah, so what?
That's nothing for a
That's
big
nothing, man.
Sure.
That's not going to keep your doors open.
Big name, yeah.
No, he was just trying to find something small to brag about. And as I said, this is not to bash Tim Kuniskis. Tim Kuniskis, as I said, was handed a plate of shit and said, here, take a bite. And not only that, I want you to walk out. Yeah, I want you to walk out in front of all these people, put that sales cap on with your smile, and get into it. We got the Vin Diesel voice. Get yourself the Hornet. You want muscle. You want speed. The Hornets are coming for you. 300 horsepower. Sorry. What?
But did you not feel the energy and the excitement that he exhibited?
So my wife watched what I watched as well. And she says, are they going to throw a ball at the window, see if it breaks? I'm like,
well,
no, this is Tesla.
Somebody mentioned that in the comments, and I was doing a live while they were doing the reveal. And I said, no, they're not going to do that. They're going to throw a box of dead hornets at it. So anyway, I went and checked. No, you did not get 14,000 orders. I'm sorry. That just didn't happen. And so day 3, he's all excited. All right, okay, good enough. Don't care about the Hornet. Move that bus. Let's do that. So he pulls the cover off, and I'm sitting there. My jaw's kind of like, what do we got here? Okay, hold on. What do we got? Don't get too crazy now. Don't hurt yourself. Don't blow a hip. What do we got? So they pull it out, and all of a sudden, it sounded like I stepped on one of my kids' freaking electric trucks that has the buttons on it. You push it, and it goes. It sounded like you step on a kid's toy.
Well, there might have been another YouTuber that mentioned a Puma and a cement mixer.
I like that. I did watch that, and that was hilarious. I don't know that I would put Jeff in my arms. Oh my! And then you're going to brag that you can crank up this shitty noise to 126 decibels and annoy everyone. People would leave if you did that.
Well,
it's non-car people
like
trying. Well, non-car people trying to make an EV car for muscle car people. Get your head out of your ass. It's an EV. Make it an EV. Take that shit out of it.
You nailed it right there.
There was a movie that Kevin James, the comedian, did, and I forgot what it was even, but that was his job. It was they were making fun of it. His job was to make sound for an electric vehicle. But the big question is, how long are them speakers going to even last?
At 126 decibel, not very long.
Yeah.
Not very long at all.
So it's really going to sound like a busted Honda.
About as long as the batteries are going to last with 3 0 to 60 passes. That's my prediction.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing about even the Hornet with their little, "Ooh, I got my shot, bing, bing." Okay, well, you just wasted 2 hours of your day because you're going to have to recharge that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do that too much. I don't know of a battery that is currently invented, that is on the market, that is not nano diamond, that could handle being discharged, recharged, discharged, and sometimes not. And sometimes it's going to lose memory. It's going to lose charge value.
We're not there yet.
You know what? It's okay because there's no heat cycling or anything to batteries. There's no spontaneous combustion. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it. When it blows up and starts on fire, just come buy another one. We're here for you.
Yeah, well, throw it in a sand pile someplace and just, because you can't put it out, just kind of
let it keep exploding for a while. And
Dodge is known for their batteries, right? They've been working on it for a lot of years.
Oh yeah, they've been testing.
You know what? It doesn't matter. They all get them from an ethically sourced company, anyways.
Absolutely. So this pulls me into. I want to look at this bigger picture, okay? Please, everyone, take this ride with me. Okay, they released this today, and we go 20, 40 years in the future. 40 years in the future, because I do agree with Mopar Nut 62. Eventually, they're going to take all of our cars, or they're going to say, you can't even start them. They're too polluting. You can't do it. They're going to take them all out. They're done.
Yeah.
Eventually, that will happen. To say that, well, depends on how things go, but current state of the world, that is where they're trying to go. So thinking of that, okay, everything is EV. Let's make believe all of us jumped on that bandwagon or were forced on it. Everything right now is EV. I just did a quick little search. It took me 2 seconds. Even within the next 15 years, our electric grid will not handle even 30% of the United States population owning electric vehicles. Here's an example. Officials said in an online briefing that they were preparing for a scenario in 2022 that would see California fall short of energy demands by about 1,700 megawatts. The shortfall is likeliest to occur in the summer after the sun sets, depriving energy providers of solar energy. Because, you want us to have solar, cool, but if you can't store it in the right battery, it don't mean a damn thing.
Sure.
Go ahead, Cletus. I'll save my rant.
While you were on California, I was going to ask if you've seen where California said by 2035, which is a huge goal, they're going to be all electric for their new vehicles. And Washington State came out right after that, a couple days later, and said they're going to do it by 2030.
So, reading in between the lines on that, down to the details, they want 35% of vehicles sold on car lots to be EV.
Oh, not just new vehicles.
No. Only new vehicle. New vehicle.
Okay. 35%
market share.
Okay.
35% of new vehicles by 2035 are going to be EV out of the state of California. Now they're already knocking the crap out of people with diesels, but I'm not going to go down that road. I have way too much invested in just this little thing I did. Sure. So I'm like, okay, we all have our EVs now. California's on fire. It's 22. This isn't even until, all these things catch on and everybody wants this new Dodge EV with the toy car noise. California won't be able to heat itself, won't be able to cool itself, which is fine because it's 65 most of the time year round. So you don't really need that. But I'm like, okay, so how much, I'm trying to go on the low side here. How much time of our lives is going to be eaten up just charging batteries at the current rate and current availability?
Yeah.
The typical electric car, a 60 kilowatt hour battery, takes just under 8 hours to charge from empty to full charge with a 7 kilowatt charging point. Most drivers top up charge rather than waiting for their vehicle to go all the way to empty. For many electric vehicles, you can add up to 100 miles of range in 35 minutes with a 50 kilowatt rapid charger. Average range on a fully charged EV is 250 miles. Let that sink in a minute. Yep. So it's going to take me, we all know we get busy. I've run my car down to, I've actually had the car die and pushed it to the gas station like 100 feet because you get so busy and things going on. What's going to happen when your electric car does that? They have to bring a diesel generator and charge your ass. That's what has to happen. You have to have a way to charge it. They don't have a solar powered thing hauled behind it that's got enough power to charge your car. We're not there yet. Once again, the battery technology is the Achilles heel of this. Don't take it the wrong way. I am not against electric vehicles. I am against the stupidity in the rapid rate they're trying to push us into it.
Right.
Because you're not ready. You're not ready. It's like your kid throws a baseball, it hits you in the face, and you go, your kid goes, "Are you ready?" That's what they're doing.
In 10 years, we'll be more ready. In 20 years, we'll be even more ready. But even in 20 years, we're not going to be ready.
Correct. No. Let alone
be. And I've seen this documentary based on this, and I know that we all end up eating Taco Bells and having sex through VR machines and stuff like that. Like this is play.
Now, if they are able to mass produce the diamond battery, as you had showed me when I was at your place,
nano diamond,
yeah, that might actually work.
Now
but
that
I don't know how close that is.
And if it's truly going to be feasible and safe, because you're using nuclear waste, but
right.
So let me zoom in a little bit here on this. I was able to pull this up. This is the current state of our charging capacity. So if we look, the total number of EVs, California has almost a million, almost a million, 930,811.
Okay.
So level 1 ports, they have 280, which is the fast chargers.
Sure.
Level 2 ports, they have 27,762.
280. Boy, that sounds low for California. That's crazy.
This is the current.
I guess level 2 ports is where their number is. Maybe that's the infrastructure.
Yeah, it sounds like building. Georgia's the place you want to own an EV.
Right.
So as you look at these numbers, this is today's facts. Like this chart is from today. You do not have enough. And I actually was hired to work on one of these projects and got a different job and didn't work on it. But I was part of the Electrify America thing where I was going to be the guy helping install the charging stations. So I'm very familiar with them. If you look at these numbers, they just don't line up. I live in Texas. There's 78,000 electric vehicles, 32 fast chargers, 4,124 slow chargers outside of your house. Sorry, you're going to use it to go to the store and come home, and that's it.
Yeah, the fast chargers are great, and they even have, especially if you have a Tesla and use a Tesla fast charger, you can get a full charge in 30 minutes. But
sorry,
not all cars will do that.
Which place had one fast charger?
I didn't even see Arkansas on that list. So
I seen something on there that had one.
I only took a clip big enough. I'm like, this is good enough for us to talk about.
Just scroll down a bit. That's where I see. Yeah, there it is.
Arizona.
Oh, it's Arizona.
Oh, wow. That's a big state, too.
There you go, Destroyer.
That's my state right there.
43,000 cars. There is 1,643 or 1,543 chargers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Enjoy.
Most of them are probably at the airport at the rental.
Arizona needs some help over there, don't they?
They're at the airport, and I actually helped install them at the malls when I worked for the mall industry. So, yeah. Actually, I have to reopen that because I did have my other talking points on it. So that kind of was just, I wanted to go kind of not too deep. Hopefully I didn't lose some people on that, but I wanted to give an overview of what reality is today. I know things can change in the future and everything would be hunky freaking dory.
Sure.
Now, the issue that was brought up by, what was his name? Sorry, bud. Big Red. Big Red was talking about he's not even trained to work on the Alfa Romeo vehicles. So I, once again, did a little bit of research for us. And think about the mechanics. Everybody likes to work on cars. Everybody works on cars right now. We're 50 years in the future, and ICE engines are pretty much obsolete. When you walk into a mechanics bay, an automotive repair shop, what does that look like? Tell me what that looks like.
An Apple store.
You ever been in a BMW dealership where everything's
Absolutely.
clean and everything's just?
I used to be a service writer for BMW.
So you know what I'm talking about. So you walk in, you're like, this is a dealership?
Like I said, I think it looked like an Apple store.
Yeah.
And you're 100% right.
Yeah.
And so mechanics are going to be, they're going to have to become electricians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
You're
tell
going to
you
have
this.
to have a degree in it.
I am not a mechanic. I mean, I've done mechanic work. I did, I've got some certifications in diesel and everything, but I'm not a mechanic or a technician. But I could work on, I've got a video coming out next week of my wife's hybrid out here that I've worked on myself. But even if you go to the dealership today, the same vehicle that I worked on and repaired it myself, if you talk to the dealership, the code that it put up, their answer is replace the battery pack for the hybrid. Just replace it. For this vehicle, this hybrid, it's an 08 model. It was between $4,000 and $8,000, depending on where you bought it and all that. It's a lot of money. Now, they don't say you could replace each cell and all. There's things you could do yourself.
Yeah, and if you watch Rich Rebuilds, he has a lot of information on how you can
really
fix
good.
some of that stuff yourself.
Great.
Now, hold on a minute, though. Tell me your average, even ASC certified mechanic.
Sure.
Are they equipped to take that battery apart and replace the cells? He's going to have to go take training, have a class, because if you mess up and that thing starts going off, you blew up the dealer. You blew up all the cars in there. Things going to.
Sure.
We're not equipped yet with a bomb-proof box that you have to work on these things in. If shit goes wrong, you jump out and shut the lid.
Before it even catches fire, it's still 300 volts.
Yeah.
You got to have special tools and special gloves and
Well, it's 300 volts was also a crap load of amperage. So, you got to have all that. But the other thing to keep in mind is, you're right. You can replace the individual cells, but that takes some specialized equipment as well. Because you have to have proper chargers, and then you have to go through and make sure all the cells are balanced. Because if they're not balanced, then you're going to just destroy the rest of the batteries in that.
Well, luckily for Toyota, they actually make it really easy. The Toyota hybrids, anyway.
Yeah,
because they've been doing Prius hybrids since 97, so they're pretty good at it. Even though if you go to the dealer, they're still going to tell you replace the whole thing. You can buy the packs and look on YouTube and eBay and do it yourself. It's not that hard. But I don't know about you. You are supposed to have specialized tools and stuff like that.
Yeah. Otherwise, you end up basically wrecking your controller and your battery. It's because everything has to be balanced, so it discharges at an even rate and recharges at an even rate. So there is a certain range that you can have, and it's not very large, that you have to have each cell within. And then you have to make sure that they're all hooked up properly too. You're talking a lot of cells in that big battery. Now, I had that GMC Sierra that was a hybrid that I worked on, and I took the battery pack out of it. I changed the modules. And that's the other thing you're going to see is a lot of the module integration. If your hatch doesn't work on your SUV, then it's going to shut the whole vehicle down, because the module hatch on the SUV doesn't work. Like, it's so integrated, it's ridiculous. And it, like you said, you're just not going to be able to have the third-party mechanics work on this stuff at some point.
Sure.
Well, hey, how's it going there? Mostly Parts.
Hey, guys.
Patrick, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the thing I have is, what happens with warranty on that battery?
Yeah.
When you have to service the battery, what happens to warranty? Currently, Tesla will not warranty the battery.
No, they won't. And even if you break a coolant line, Tesla has the coolant lines going around their batteries. Reach Rebuild covered that. They're saying replace the whole system.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say.
Yeah, I see we're having a discussion about voltage and amps, and so I've always likened voltage to I've always likened it to a garden hose. So that's how to look at voltage and amperage is one's volume, one's pressure. So you can have a fire hose with very little pressure and just kind of dribbling out of the end. It ain't going to cut you in half, right? Sure. Or you can have a very small garden hose with a lot of pressure, which may just do some damage, right? Or you can have the big fire hose with a whole lot of pressure, which is definitely going to do damage. And that's the best way to look at electricity too.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that the point I'm talking about with mechanics is I've done a lot of research on this because I don't want to just come on here and say stupid stuff. I definitely want to make sure that when I speak, I am speaking correctly. So once again, mechanics will have to be electricians. Right now in 2022, the average mechanic salary is $54,000 to $66,000. The current average EV mechanic salary is $45,000. What's that going to do to the guy who's been a mechanic for 20 years?
Well,
we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
They're already having a technician shortage. There already are. So I don't know. If you start, it's going to be like carburetors. Around here, you can't find any shop that will work on a carburetor. They don't know how to do it. They fully ASC certified. They don't know how to do it. So it might be the same way for batteries. They're going to know how to work on these electric cars and say, I don't know how to work on a ICE and ICE or whatever. I don't know how to work on an internal combustion engine.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. So Patrick.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to jump in. You said you had something. Come on in, man. The pool is nice and warm. Hop in.
Oh, it's going to get warmer. It's going to get a lot warmer.
Let's go, brother.
I know what you guys are talking about, but think of this. Here's one of my biggest gripes, and I think Uncle Tony actually hit on it really well. He didn't really go in deep to it, but he was talking at one point about how these cars can just spontaneously go up in flames. And as we get more of these cars, I think that's going to be a given. We're also going to see that insurance companies, they're not going to insure your car that's a Tesla. They're not going to insure your house if you park your Tesla in your garage and charge it. And then what's going to happen if you go to the mall? I see it in the future that you'll come up to the parking lot in the mall and it'll say no electric vehicles. Because if you drive your car in there and it sets itself on fire, it destroys a parking garage, it destroys 50 or 60 cars at a minimum. And who's going to be liable for that? Well, it's going to be the car owner.
Well, agreed. And the other problem we are all running into even currently is fire departments are not trained on it yet.
No, they don't.
Well, they don't.
With water.
Not only are they not trained, they don't have the proper chemicals, or most of them don't. Some do, but most don't have the proper chemicals to put one out.
Yeah, as I say,
they will burn hot for a long time.
Well, I say you put water on lithium, that's an explosive. Yeah. So it would have to be, you'd have to bring in, I think the only place that I know of that usually has the right chem foam is like at an airport.
Yeah, I know airports have it.
Right. So, I mean, if all the other magic actually happened, what's going to happen? It's going to be like our current healthcare system. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Well, and I promise you, whatever chemical that is, and I don't know enough about it to say this is what it is, but I promise you it's more expensive than water.
Oh, absolutely. Because if it wasn't, everybody would have it.
Well, another point that I brought up, I think, on your live, Cletus, is infrastructure tax. A lot of that is in gasoline. And so now where's that tax going to come from? They're going to start either developing a road tax or they're going to start taxing electricity even more.
So in Arkansas,
for that loss of revenue, which
in
now
Arkansas,
is going to
right this second, in this state anyway, for right this second, If you get a hybrid vehicle, you pay an extra $100 a year in taxes. If you have an electric vehicle, it's an extra $300 a year in tax to make up for the gasoline tax that you're missing out.
If you don't think that they're eventually going to throw more taxes on your electricity, which is going to be on your home, your business.
Oh, they'll throw all kinds of tax. They love taxes.
So. They're constant. They're definitely going to do that. And
I'm sure they'll make you feel good about it too.
Well, yes, they will, because they'll sell it as, hey, we used to have a 20% tax on fuel, but we only put a 19% tax on electricity, so you're actually saving money.
Well, it'd be okay if they only put it on electricity, but they'll do the wheel tax first,
yes,
and then they'll do the electricity tax.
Absolutely,
and then there'll be some kind of, oh, well, we're not going to insure your EV because it might blow up. Instead of fixing the problem, their response is always some kind of tax or premium on. Oh, you want to have an EV? Well, your insurance company will say, there's going to be this extra. You're going to pay a higher rate on your probably your homeowner's insurance and also on your vehicle.
Right. Yeah, liability. Before we get too far here,
sure.
As I was getting into the mechanic side of it, I wanted to show you guys a headline from today. This is a story I clipped. Whoever has this, feel free to take the rights. I'm probably going to kill this stream once we're done anyway, because I know it'll spark a whole lot of controversy. So I wanted to share this one real quick.
And Ford chairman Bill Ford told employees in a joint email that the company's cost structure is uncompetitive versus traditional and new competitors. Rising prices for batteries, raw materials, and shipping are putting additional pressure on Ford and other automakers. Going forward, Farley has mapped out a strategy for Ford to develop a broad lineup of electric vehicles. Like Tesla, Ford wants to generate more revenue through services that depend on digital software and connectivity. Ford has begun separating its operations into electric, combustion engine, and commercial vehicle operations, and said the staff cuts will affect all parts of the company. Ford, GM, and Chrysler owner Stellantis confront a new workforce challenge next year as they begin contract negotiations with the United Auto Workers Union, which represents the Detroit automaker's U.S. factory employees. UAW leaders have expressed concern that electric vehicles will mean fewer manufacturing jobs and more jobs dispersed to non-union battery and electric vehicle hardware factories.
So hold on. One thing on top, there's a whole lot to unpack there. One thing that I heard, they're moving to a subscription model just like your frickin' phone. If you didn't catch that when you listened, you can play that back. And
I heard it
again.
Narks heard it for sure. He said steering apps $32 a month.
Yeah.
100% true. Now, that's the other thing is it said it wants them connected. You can't keep my damn phone from dropping a call, and you want all these cars connected, and they're going to connect them. And that's where, you want to go out and do a little street racing? Hey, giggity, I'll get some. Shut you down.
Yeah. Hey, you're speeding.
They have the power. Will have the power to shut you down. They will have the power to stop you from doing anything they want you to.
Or they'll say, when you come in, you're like, hey, my battery's not charging anymore. It's messed up. They'll say, hey, you went 60 or you went 100 miles an hour. You're not supposed to do that. So avoid your warranty.
Oh, yeah. And put wheels on this thing, because that's all it is. They're making this big with a motor.
Everybody used to complain about getting a tracking device and all that. Your phone's already a tracking device. So now your car is definitely going to be.
You know what? Just think about
is.
that. Have a conversation with one of your friends, and then look at the ads that pop up on your phone after that conversation.
You have Facebook or
imagine your car. Your car is going to hear and usually the car is our safe space, isn't it? I know that's where if I'm having a bad day, I hop in my car, I go for a drive, clear my head, come back, I'm good to go. Whatever was said in that car is between me and the seat.
Yeah.
As long as I don't bring my phone.
Well, now it's going to start selling you ads like, are you sure you don't want a cup of coffee?
Right. As you're driving, it'll be like, doesn't that McDonald's look good?
Yeah.
Hey, there's a McDonald's in 3 miles right here.
You are down to 20% charge. Now would be a good time to pull over and have a Big Mac.
Right.
Well, yeah, because they'll sell that ad space. on your
There
monitor.
you go. That's exactly what it's going
Is it
It'll be no different than your phone, except it's going to be on all the time.
You're going to have to watch a
Oh.
commercial before you can start your car.
Yep.
Y'all see it? Have y'all seen Idiocracy where they're like,
Oh, yeah.
ads everywhere. They're like,
Ads everywhere. Exactly.
Everywhere.
It's already here.
It's already
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You know, one thing that actually
Sponsored by
migrate to the phone.
Pfizer.
Something that caught me off guard on my trip down to work on the Volvo
Yeah.
is because we don't have it here that I'm aware of. Is when the first time I went and stopped to fill up the Mustang, I was like, "Who
Gas
the hell's
station TV.
talking? What's going on here?" And I realized there's an ad going on the gas pump.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, "What is
That scared the
this?"
hell out of me the first time I did it. I put it in. I'm like, who's? I was ready to hit somebody. Like, oh, don't come up on me like that, man.
You
I'm
can't
having
turn
a
it
weird
off
day.
anymore. When they first started, you were able to hit a button and mute them.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
well, that was nuts, man. Like we don't have that on our pumps up here, right? So I was like,
Not
"What's
yet.
going on here?"
Oh, his boss, Ford Blue Gauge, his boss has a 2021 Expedition. If it sets for more than 24 hours, it goes into hibernation mode. And he has to reactivate his car from his phone. This
All
isn't
right.
a joke.
Well,
That's
now
what
we
I'm
have
saying.
a
This
hybrid.
is so much bigger than what everybody is thinking. And they're like, oh, the car and the car. It's not about the car. It has nothing to do with the damn car. Everybody's going to make go-karts or golf carts. They're all, it's a big golf cart with technology in it.
It
Yeah.
really all
Put a
comes
name
down
on
to
it.
one
Well,
word.
More people start driving
Control.
motorcycles, I guess, because we're not anywhere close to having EV motorcycles being the main thing.
Oh, no, that'll be a while. But still, it's one of those. Right now, all of us could argue who has the best motor. Oh, I could build a 318. I could build a 340. I could build a 350. I could build a 302. What's going to happen later? I got a double wound kilowatt megaton. No.
I got
No.
four.
Brushless.
I got
dude.
4 motors.
You're way
I got
behind
6
the
motors.
times.
Mine are brushless. And, dude, I got this thing called a Power Shot.
It's the extra battery that I put on my backpack.
I got 4 extra DeWalt batteries hooked up to my Power Shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Timothy Smith. I know they do sell EV motorcycles, but they don't do so well.
Yeah.
They're not.
That's
they're
actually
barely
that's my
selling
cousin.
at all.
That's my cousin, Tim.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, they're not. Is it really your cousin?
It truly is.
Oh, okay. I call
Like
everybody
blood.
cousins. So, you know,
no,
me,
it's
I'm
my
like, hey,
blood
that's my
cousin.
cousin.
But yeah.
But yeah, I know they do sell them, but they just don't. They don't sell well at all. They don't go very far. They don't. It's not good. The limiters on them, they don't go very fast. It's bad.
Cousin Cletus, you were supposed to be the other side of this argument, buddy. Like you were supposed
I
to
am
be
on the other
going
side of
for
the
the EVs. So
I'm still a fan of EVs. I'm a fan of EV being an alternate,
absolutely.
a solution, or
Yeah.
not a mainstream. This is what everybody needs right now.
And,
Yeah.
and you
I
hit
say
the
it.
nail on the head with what the big problem I have with EVs. And if you want an EV for whatever reason, you think the performance is great or whatever, fill your boots, man. Go ahead, be happy. But do not try to sell me the crap it's to save the environment or to save starving
No.
children or anything else, because that is a load of
Well,
Well-
and as I said on John Wilburn's live prior to this, I have one word for all of you: diesel. Without diesel, you can't mine any of the precious metals that we're stripping. And I'm sorry, I live in Arizona. I can go out to Douglas and show you mines. You want to talk about wreaking havoc on some shit?
Yep.
You want to save the planet? Quit strip mining. You are wrecking the hell out of everything. And they're, we're going to put it back. My buddy was a miner. And he goes, well, we're paid tax dollars to put it back like it was.
Sure.
And he showed me photos of before and after. And there's like 5 little trees about this big.
Well, and think
And that's
about the countries where they have no governing body on that.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's one thing. Like we got the oil sands up here that has a very bad reputation for some reason. But what they don't show you is what it looked like before they went in and took the oil out. Because I mean, you got black bubbling up out of the earth. You got rivers you can go throw a match in and light them on fire. That's what it was like before they went in there. They basically came in, cleaned the dirt, put it back, planted some trees, and it's better than when we went in there. But they don't want you to see that side of it, right? They don't want to see the before and after shots, and they want to see the production. Hey, well, look what's happening while they're doing this. They're destroying everything. it's the false narratives that I'm very, very tired of. And is it great to develop alternates and different technologies? Absolutely, 100%, totally support that. But do not sell it under false pretenses.
Sure.
No. I'm a fan of logic. It's okay. And I get yelled at because when I used to go into work, now I work 100% remote, which is a whole nother story. But hi, Brailsford, what's up, man? I used to get yelled at. You can't use logic on a Monday.
Yeah.
That's a dying art form. Is
Man, you
like
should use logic when you roll out of bed in the morning.
critical thought of any sort is a dying art form, buddy.
Hey, Google, can you
find something that agrees
There's
with
your critical thought.
my opinion?
Well, it's crazy how much information that you have at your fingertips now, especially compared to, I don't know, back when I was, graduating high school, which to me it doesn't feel that long ago. But hey, this next year will be 20 years. So, but even back then, and that we had the internet then, but it wasn't like it is now, obviously. But man, this information is just, you could look up anything. You got YouTube, you have Google. It's so much different now. So,
Yeah.
you have all this information just at your fingertips. You're ready to go. But, it also, maybe it dumbs you down a little bit. I don't know. Because you don't need to know it. You're like, if I need to know that, I'll just look it up real quick.
It
Dumbs
definitely
you
does,
down
man.
massively. Real quick here. Hey, B&R Racing, I'm sorry I put you on timeout because I can't have a ton of F-bombs dropped in there. Like, just be careful of that. I love you being in the conversation, but, I kind of want to not get my channel canceled. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, they don't like too many of them.
Now, let's see here. Just checking in the comments here. Let's see. Well, there's a lot. The thing is, right now, that's another. I don't even want to get into it, but that is what they're trying to do, is drive a wedge between all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in the car community, I don't believe in that.
Sure.
I don't believe in that. And part of the reason I wanted to do this is I want people to come in and challenge what I'm saying.
Sure.
Not be a jerk about it, but show me that I'm wrong, because I'm a logical dude. If you can prove, like, hey, look, here's X, Y, and Z, I'll go, oh, I didn't look at it that way. We're cool. Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
I'll agree. I won't get into politics for sure, and I'm not going to talk too much about politics, but the ones that are way far right or way far left, they're the ones you're hearing from. The squeaky wheel gets the grease order. But I think most people are more in the middle there, hopefully. But as far as the electric stuff with all that, I think most people, they want to help the environment, which Mongrel's talked about that. So you get
everybody's not a butthole,
how it's helping the environment. But I think most people also agree that if everybody had an electric car today, nobody could drive it. We're not ready for it. Or anybody that knows anything about cars, or even, the way the infrastructure is today. I mean,
so here's the other portion of this that I can spit out is my kids are going to school and coming home with some pretty interesting things that they're being taught.
Sure.
Obviously different from my age and my time. And one of the things was, we recycle here, right? They gave us here. They say, hey, here's a recycle bin. Here's a regular bin. I'm like, okay. And they're yelling at us about recycling. I'm not the master of recycling. I had a bag in there, and the guy put a little thing on my trash can and said, hey, dude, don't put a bag in there. It can't. I'm like, that's weird, because I thought that you recycled the plastic. And it said the bag was made of, like, I didn't understand. I still don't. I won't. My whole problem is we are consumers. We purchase things. You're yelling at us to not do that. And when you buy it, put this over here, put that over there, do this, do that. How about you fix the product you're freaking selling me in the first place? Why is it you're selling me a plastic bottle that's going to wreck everything? Why are you doing that to me? And then yelling at me about it, like I did, like I heard a dolphin with a plastic freaking straw. You're the asshole who sold that straw.
Yeah, we're not allowed
Sorry,
to have
I'll shut up.
plastic straws up here anymore. If you go to any of our restaurants, you get a cardboard straw now. I just throw those things out.
They're pointless.
Brailsford,
What's up,
buddy?
Brailsford? How you doing?
I've finally been to one of your lives, man. You always go right when I'm trying to get my kids to bed, so I never can pop in.
Oh, no worries, man. Yeah, this is a fun one to be on.
Yeah. Well, we know Brailsford loves that new EV Mustang, so.
Yeah, no. Not so
Yeah.
much.
I did find out something interesting that I actually will admittedly say I did not realize. I did not realize that Ford broke off Mustang into its own brand. So-
I think they did that in 2015, didn't they?
Right.
I don't think
if
they've
that's
officially
new.
done that yet, but I think that's the way they're trending. Have
Well,
they
they
done
have
that?
their own. They have their own. I mean, it's still under Ford, but they have their own division.
Yeah, I mean they
Yeah,
were trending to do
Mustang is
that,
its own division
just
now.
like
It's
Ram did their own thing, like from
Yeah.
Dodge.
So the Mustang EV is not necessarily technically a Mustang, it's a Mustang brand.
So the
I don't
interesting
really.
thing on Ford,
I've stopped caring. I don't think I'll be buying any newer car than 2023
Agreed.
from Ford. I think
Now
like
with
I'm
all
done.
this, with all these people not obviously not making good cars because Chevy failed with the Blazer and stuff like that. They're not making the Camaro anymore. All the Dodge vehicles are going to be EV now. All these classic cars, and I think Hot Rod Dave said it earlier, but all these classic cars are going to go up in value. They're already crazy high. If you're going to bring a trailer right now, you can find a 1990 Chrysler LeBaron is like $12,000. So,
Dude, so I'm not even gonna like. This is gonna upset a lot of people in here probably because we're all true-blooded Americans here. But I'm not buying any newer American cars. I'm gonna buy a Toyota or a Honda because it's gonna run forever, and that way I don't have to worry about At least I'll get my investment for it.
even they're going to electric though. I mean,
Toyota's pursuing hydrogen. I'm banking on it. I'm banking that Toyota's gonna be.
well, and they're
the way
still
that
they're still doing their hybrid pretty hard right now too, and they've been doing it for a while. They've actually got pretty good
Well,
hybrid.
you saw that hydrogen V8 they came out with, right? It's putting out 455 horsepower.
Well, and as far as the newer vehicles, you say Toyota and Honda on it, but I don't think you're buying it for the looks. I don't think you're like, this looks cool. This makes me want to go buy a new vehicle. You buy it for dependability.
Oh no, that's exactly it. So like that'd be for my daily. For my toy, I'll still buy Chevy, Dodge, Ford, you name it.
Well, not anymore. You won't.
I mean, it'd be an older one, older ones, obviously. Yeah.
so that was the other thing I wanted to kind of parlay into is that sweaty fat guy, how you doing?
Hey.
So the other thing I wanted to parlay this into is so Ford is going to keep going until 2029. That chaps my ass because Dodge, what are you doing? And it's not Dodge.
Well,
it's
we're
not
gonna keep
Dodge.
going.
Dodge to me should be
Stellantis.
sold off. Stellantis because it's a European company. They don't understand what we do over here with our loud noises.
Well, you just wait, though. I mean, say Ford goes to 2029. Say the administration changes policies and stuff. You never know what'll change in the future, too.
Agreed. It can go hard one way, hard the other. Who knows? But at this point,
well, Ford has done, and I know you don't want to hear this, but they've done an amazing job with their hybrids and EVs. Just the way they're marketing, the way they're doing the research on them. No, wrong. Of course, they still have recalls and stuff like that, but they're ahead of the game, and they're still talking about 2029, and that's even that's awesome.
Well, I saw like one of the high end of the Ford Lightning. I saw a price tag of one like $105,000. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. And then have you looked at the capabilities of that vehicle?
They're not very great. You can't tow
Well,
very
they
well.
boast all this. You drive, you get 400 or 500 miles per range, but then if you put any weight on it,
oh my gosh, I got like 85 or something.
I can't
it was
wait to
ridiculous.
It was what,
watch
TFL or one of those guys?
someone try to launch their electric boat with their electric truck.
Well,
that's going to be entertainment right there.
You get
really
400
chaps
miles
my butt.
if you go 45 miles an hour.
Right. So what really chaps me here is, and EVs are pushing EVs hard, right? So your average person's not going to be able to afford a at least $50,000 car, right? So for my daily driver, for example, I went out and I bought a 2003 Toyota Sequoia. That's a monster of a truck. It's a reliable truck, and I got it for $5,800, and it's going to run forever. And it's almost 20 years old. You can't, like, once an EV hits 10 years old, it's pretty much where it's going to be and done. Like, you're not going to be buying 20-year-old EVs unless they've already had their battery packs changed. I don't even know if that's possible. So, I mean,
possible.
it's just
it is possible. You know, my Highlander hybrid that's sitting out here is a 2008 model with 270,000 miles on it, and you would never know it had that many miles on it.
Do you know how they do it in Germany?
How's that?
Okay, in Germany, I was stationed over there back 89 to 91, and
Thank you.
The company that makes the vehicle has to dispose of the vehicle in Germany. So you don't find old cars in Germany unless they're owned by one of us GIs or we've sold it to one of the guys on the German economy.
Well, that sounds horrible.
Yeah. I mean, you do not find them. But you go to any military base and there's a junkyard just completely full of old European cars and old American cars. That's what they want here. They don't want you to be able to buy an old car. They want you to buy a new one. And then it's only going to last so many years, and then you have to buy another one.
Well, that's where I was very passionate when thinking of the future, because like Brailsford wants to do a project car with his kid. All the dads out there who grew up with their dads doing something like that, or didn't get a chance to and learned about cars because they loved them, but their dad didn't. And when they have a boy or a girl and they want to build a car together, what are you going to do?
Well, there's other alternatives. Like, do you know what an aerial
hunting?
atom is?
Yep.
Okay. You could build an aerial atom with your kid, and you can power it with whatever. You could put, a Tesla drivetrain in it, or, it could be any engine, any motor. You can
But is
build
the
that
aerial
with
atom
your
going to
kid.
be $2,000? Can you get one for $2,000? No.
You can get the
That's
steel.
good.
You can get the steel. You
Yeah,
can get a welder. You can weld it up. You can make everything except for the spindles and the steering gear and the power plant.
I don't think in our lifetimes. Now, of course, I can't foresee the future. I don't think for within our lifetimes they're going to, ban gasoline engines.
They'll
Or
just make
diesel
it so hideously expensive you won't be able to drive them.
That's what they're going to do. Yeah.
Maybe. Well, right now they're saying gas was high because of supply and demand. So if there's no,
No.
there's no demand on it.
It's
Well,
political.
I mean,
My
so
116 in my Dart was $16 a gallon for race fuel. Like, dude,
we've got oil fields. There's like oil fields in Alaska that are untouched, that like certain single fields out there that can sustain the country themselves, supposedly for 200 years. So I mean, like,
there is absolutely
they
no
don't
reason
talk.
that the states should be above $2 a gallon.
Yeah, we
None.
have our own energy.
none.
No.
But I went to Arizona. That shit was still over $4. It's like here.
It
It's
still
like
is.
$2.89.
It just dropped under $4 today here.
Oof.
I drove by it,
No,
was
we're still in the
$3.89.
threes.
I got my
still in the
feelings hurt
threes.
when I pulled into Arizona because in New Mexico it's $3.50.
But what you have going on is you got the price reset going on as well. Because
Yeah.
what they've done is they jacked it up so high that when it comes back down to, it was $6 a gallon, comes back down to $4 a gallon. You're going, well, that's not too bad. Yeah, it is. Wake up, man.
Yeah,
is bad.
people have short-term memories, man. People have
They have
short-term
very
memories, and it's
short
horrible.
memories.
I don't know.
On top of
I won't be happy till it gets under, or if it's around 250, I'd be like, okay, I can do that. But right now, even at like 289, I'm still like, okay, come on down some more.
I got a friend that sells race gas. He's another GTO guy. And he was talking with the VP rep, and they're talking about by the start of next year's racing season, they probably won't be selling race gas anymore.
What?
Yeah. Because it's going to be hideously expensive. You're talking $10 to $15 for race gas now.
Yeah.
And if you're talking like C16, that's way more than $15. That's some expensive stuff.
Yep.
Right. So
So I
if
need
you
to
have a
lower
high
my
compression
compression.
engine, that leaves you with methanol and ethanol.
Yeah, you're doing E85.
Well, you guys just wait until the ramifications of this debt cancellation hits.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
They're not, there's still going to be plenty of college debt to go around. They're not canceling all of it. So
Exactly, but still, I mean, say, all right.
It's gonna help the runaway inflation problem.
Yeah, it's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care
Weimar,
about that
Germany.
myself, but,
Well, the crazy. So I'm
college for my parents and their parents was like $20. Now it's 60, 70 grand to get a degree now. So a regular degree.
I'm going to start a new business where I figure out how to bring batteries to EVs on the side of the road, and
Yeah,
And they did it in the
Good business
1800s.
to
You'd
get
pull up
into.
to a service station and they would pull your battery out and put one in. The
Yeah.
first electric vehicles were that way.
But
Sure.
I mean,
Of course,
that is
you did
something
6
where
miles an hour, but hey,
Hey,
I think that's something that's gonna you get a service truck with the different batteries in there, or something that's compatible at least, so you can get the person charging station. You're gonna have good
Have
business.
one of those portable lifts like they have on drag weeks.
ooh, that's
well,
a
I
good
just
idea.
don't. What I don't understand is like
You're going to need a
the
lift to
prices
put a
are
battery in.
the prices are getting so outrageous, and like I'm in the Navy still, and I get paid decent, and I'm still having to dip into my savings. So like my junior sailors, I'm asking my chiefs to pulse these guys, be like, hey, are they doing okay? Because I know they got kids, I got kids. Like,
the
are they
only
surviving?
time I've ever been on food stamps when I was a E3, E4 in the military.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about, man. I'm worried about my junior guys because
That was
Well,
back in
if the
I got
E5s
a
and the
decent
E6s
paycheck.
can't make a living, then you're going to have a little bit of a revolt.
Well,
Because
supposedly
the
we're supposed to be
E5s run the
getting
military.
supposedly we're supposed to be getting a 3 to 4% pay increase to combat our 11% of inflation.
Oh, yeah. So that means I'll get a 3 to 4% with my VA.
And when your mortgage
Maybe.
comes up
We'll
for
see.
Maybe.
when
They
your
gave us
mortgage
6%
comes up
this
for
year.
renewal,
Yay.
good luck.
And they did make it where if you have a disability or were separated from the military, this new administration did make it where your kids can go to college for free. So,
Well, we've had that forever. I mean, my kids.
yeah,
could
but the
have,
last
gone to
administration took
school.
it away from the 9/11 bill because my kids were going to go to college free. They took it away. Now they actually might be able to go again. So we'll see. It's been a mess.
I got to move this forward to the aftermarket industry. As I said, let's push 50 years ahead.
Let's do it.
I'll be dead. I won't care.
What after? Okay. Still,
Yeah.
just looking at the big picture of, and it doesn't matter if it's Chevy. Chevy just has the Corvette left.
Sure.
Ford eventually will have the Mustang until its dying breath. And then, Dodge is whatever the hell they're doing. So,
Well,
what's the aftermarket going to be? Wraps and tires?
It
if
won't
there's
be the
if there's
aftermarket.
EVs, so if there's EVs, right? You got let's talk the Mach-E, right? There was different variants where they had either 2 motors on the rear or like 2 up front, and there's different iterations. So you'll be able to, I think, add extra motors and gearing. I don't know anything about these cars, so I'm just purely talking out my ass here.
Sure.
But I think you'll be able to add electric motor or add motors, but it'll be just like a plug and play kind of thing. And yeah, I don't know. I think the days of, if there are still combustion engines by chance, the days of tuning them is probably gone. And unless you have some like freaking what do they call it? What's the prohibition days? What was it? The feel good? No, the speakeasies. Is that what they're called? You know what I'm talking about? Basically, where you go and drink when it was against the law. You're gonna have some hidden tuners out there still tuning people's cars.
But if they if your car's connected to the net all the time, and it's given telemetry back, you're going to have to have some way to spoof it if you want to do any sort of performance stuff.
And I'm sure
that's why you don't buy a new car.
They would know how to do it. But there is, I can't think of the country's name. I'm sitting here thinking about it. There is a country where you cannot customize your vehicle. I mean, you could change very, very little. You can change the colors of stuff and that, but you can't do any engine modifications for sure.
That's
I
pretty
think
much
in
the UK.
Germany right now, you can't actually do an oil change in your own garage.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually
About
build
that.
their cars without a drain plug and an impossible to get to filter. So you have to have a tube that goes down in through the dipstick tube and sucks all the oil out.
Yep.
It's nuts.
Oh my God.
I have a problem with letting
That's
the
awful.
letting a lube shop touch my car. I'm sure as hell not going to take it to a government facility.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't take my car to a dealer once I buy it.
Well, didn't they make a movie about this, about no more V8s and stuff, called Mad Max or something?
Actually, they did it a long time before that. Firebird 2000 is the one where all the gas is gone.
So
Original.
do you guys
I
think,
made reference to Demolition Man earlier as well.
do you guys think that, so all the cars, they said what, after 25 will be producing live data that's like documented, right? Miles and all that stuff. Do you think in the future that even the cars that don't have that are going to have to be retrofitted? Like they'll give you something that's going to plug in your OBD2 and it broadcasts a signal of some sort. It says,
They've
hey,
already
you
got
went this
that
many
right now.
miles.
It's the little thing you plug in for your insurance company, which
Yeah,
I don't have that.
already
That's what I'm
there.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Do
Yeah,
you
they're
think
like,
the
you can save
government-
this much on your insurance. I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So do you think the government will go that far to invading your privacy to find out?
probably
If
on
you
those cars,
if you let them,
Eventually.
you
If
know,
you let 'em.
it's a slippery slope. If we let them do some things, they'll do more. You know, it's so we gotta make sure that you know.
Well,
keep
this
the
is
government out of a lot of
this
things.
is the exact problem we're facing. And like you said, we don't want to bring this too political, but
Sure.
At some point, these two countries, the States and Canada, have gone
North
from
America,
North America, have gone from the people controlling the government to the government controlling the people.
Exactly.
That ain't going to end well.
No.
Well, when COVID started, right, and they forced all the businesses to close, it was shocking how easily it went down. Like all those small businesses that just, I got friends who straight out of school, they started their own business and they lost everything. Like they lost everything because they didn't have the overhead to survive. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that everybody just accepted it. And I don't think it would be as easily accepted if it were to happen again. So like monkeypox was to become COVID part 2, right? And they were trying to shut down the country. No, I don't think it's going to be.
That would be a
won't kill you.
stretch.
I think.
Plus, I don't think, you know, I think it's too soon. Maybe 10 years from now, I might do it again. But right now, I think most people are going to be like, no.
We're done.
No, they'll do it in
That's
2 years.
exactly what I'm saying.
They'll
Yeah,
do it in
I
2020.
agree. They'll
Yep.
do it in 2 years. Yeah, they'll try it again.
We'll
If
see.
it's not, it'll be something. It might not be disease. It might be climate. It might be something. But
Climate's what I'm
it'll be-
seeing. But
It'll be something.
It has to be something invisible that you can't see, that you can't
Yeah.
track, that you can't keep track of,
Aliens.
that just affects you.
That's
That's like the biggest fear.
Good night, buddy.
Fear of the unknown.
hey guys, I'm gonna do a quick word from our sponsor. Hold on, we'll be right back.
Cockpit.
Okay, sorry.
no, you're not. Do it again. It was worth it.
It's
Man, I
totally
have never
worth
bought
it.
that.
You're done.
Cockpit.
So Mopar Nut wants everybody to do electric NASCAR. Is that what I was reading there?
Oh,
I
there
haven't
we
watched
go.
NASCAR for a long time.
Yeah,
You
I
said
haven't
it's
watched
a
NASCAR
very
since
happy
Dale died.
sport.
That would be an entertaining event. You'd have a long intermission. You could go use the washroom, go get
500,
snacks.
500 miles at 200
Sorry,
miles an
Midnight
hour.
Road, I warned
It'll be
you.
a 3-day event, right?
What they would have to do is make it
Olympics.
where the batteries were quick change. They'd have to,
Yep.
or they'd never get it done.
Oh, we're not changing tires. We're just changing batteries.
But yeah, change batteries, tires at the same time.
I
know,
like
2
George
minutes.
Carlin's version. You have all the cars going around one way, and then one car has to go around the opposite direction.
Yeah.
There
I
you
want to be
go.
in that car. I want it to be all-wheel drive. I don't even care if it's fast, but I want it to be really well built.
Full
You
steel.
wait until there. Okay. You wait until there's a wreck and they're experiencing that white hot flame from the battery. And the
you got like 20
drivers,
cars that went pop, 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 pop. It'd be popcorn.
You're not gonna like you're even if the fire wasn't near the driver, like you're gonna melt. Like you're not gonna survive that.
No.
Sure.
Well, why have drivers? Just have drones.
Exactly. Why do we need drivers?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we got drone
just
racing
have
with
them-
RC stuff.
You know, there you go. That's exactly right. We don't need drivers. Their skill could be on the joystick.
And why go for 500 miles? Because everybody's got the attention span of, oh, squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like a YouTube short. Ready for the race. Thanks.
Yeah.
There is a reason why YouTube Shorts do so well. Why TikTok does so well. It's attention span.
It's crazy how much.
So yeah, that's if you come out with an electric car race that was only an hour, it would probably dominate right now.
Yeah,
Especially if they were driven by remote
cars
controls.
right now. I still think that's the wave of the future for most motorsports.
You know what? I will say one thing though. They're the younger generation, like they're in about their 20s now, somewhere around there.
Gen Z. Gen Z.
Yeah, they're actually a lot more, I guess, conservative. They're a little more traditional. That's the word I'm looking for. They're a little more traditional. I find some of them. There's a pocket full of them.
So that's my kids' generation. I don't know about that, man.
There's
All the people I've met. That's like,
I'm meeting lots of young people that are jazzed up about cars.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I've seen
my
a
son's huge
lot.
on cars and all that. I'm saying his generation as a whole, though. I don't know.
Well, look at us gearheads. We're a niche community, right? How many people do you know that their car is like their appliance for A to B? They don't care about it. They don't take care of it.
Especially my generation.
Right.
Yeah, the millennial generation, absolutely.
Millennials, yeah, my
100%.
generation. They don't care about cars. They're just, does it get good gas mileage? Does it get me here or there? They don't care about what it looks like usually, even, or maybe they'll say, is it clean? Is it pretty?
So they're not gearheads. So don't get wound up about, not having a whole bunch of the next generation being gearheads. They're still going to be gearheads. There's still guys wired like we are that's going to be like, I got to make this go faster.
But what I've been finding when I go to local car shows is you got the old crowd, and then you got a fairly young crowd. It's actually quite the fascinating dynamic.
Well,
that's fine, but the young crowd, they like this freaking takeover culture is freaking horrible, man.
No,
I like the young
young
crowd. When I went with the Volvo, it wasn't the old guys looking at they could care less about the Volvo with LS in it. But all the younger guys, all the millennials, they were all about it. They're like, what, a 96 Volvo?
Yeah, it gives me a little bit of hope. It gives me a little bit of hope that there is a younger generation that wants to carry the torch.
So we've got here, right? So I'm stationed at Camp Lejeune, and they've started doing spectator drags here. You got this young crowd. I'm talking like 18 to 20-year-olds. They go out and take their Mustang GTs, their Scat Packs, expensive cars that they're probably paying huge interest rates on. And they're running these things on the track. And I'm just sitting there filming it because I'm like, geez, you guys are psychos. Like, every other spectator drags in the country, people are running G-bodies and running freaking old Blazers. And here we are running $50,000 cars plus around this track.
Well, you got a kid that lives in the barracks. So he's got, free money coming in every month, and he's got no time. He deploys and then comes back with a big chunk of change. Down payment on a hot rod.
Yeah, well, I saw kids.
It's better than when I was in. They used to, them car dealers would see them coming, boy. They'd go and get a freaking Saturn or something, and, paying $35,000 for it. So.
Yep.
Well, hey guys, I'm running up. I got 1 minute left here, and I think I'm going to shut this thing down. But I really appreciate the open. Once again, I wanted to tell everybody, the car community will never die.
No.
Ever. You guys can poke us, you can prod us, you can tell us you want this, you want that, you want. I don't care. I'll be that guy in the middle of nowhere who still has a Hemi of some sort or a blown something that's going to be making his own fuel and sneaking out at midnight because I don't have a tracker on my damn car, laying black marks as far as the damn thing will go, and I will disappear into a tunnel.
Yep. The only thing we'll have to do is find tires.
Well, you won't be the only one. So there's no way that they could just do away with gasoline or ICE vehicles. They just can't. Not anytime soon. Not anytime in our lifetimes.
Well, gasoline we could get rid of, but not ICEs.
Right.
No, and that's, I think it's going to be, appreciate that, Tim. I seriously think it's just going to be an alternative fuel. There's already people, BMW, Porsche, a bunch of people are working on different fuels. And Lord willing, they'll come out with one of those that they could put right in the damn fuel pumps we already have and just put it right back into it.
Ethanol will work with everything you have now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you got high compression, you can get the mileage back.
Yep.
So build
It's all
that
about
13-to-1 engine and enjoy the same mileage you would have got on gas. With a lot
I got
more
13 and
power.
a half, so I need it.
Well, get with me and I'll hook you up with an E85 carb.
I'm telling you, I need to. Definitely need to. All right. Well, hey,
Thanks
guys,
for having me on,
like
man.
I said, I appreciate it.
Yes,
And
thanks for having us on.
this isn't the last one, but I wanted to kind of just kick this off because I really had to bone to pick. And if there's people who completely disagree, I'm totally cool with that. I just don't want the dumb yelling. I want educated yelling, right? I'm cool with education. I'm down with that. Like, educate me. I'm cool with that. But until next time, I appreciate each and every one of you. One last word from our sponsor.
Cockpit.
Later, guys.
Please.
See ya.
See you, everybody.